get to know ya. Hey, nah, 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 nah. Delve into emotion. Leave us in this moment. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Literary License Podcast, and today we got Dayvid Grant in our Getting to Know You section. Hello, Dayvid. Welcome to the Literary License Podcast.
Hello, then. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Oh, Dayvid will be joining us for our Kings of Horror, and he might be sliding over every once in a while to other episodes, like 2 for 1, the 80s, when we cover the best of the 80s, or maybe, who knows, you might even slip into a Bewitched or Dark Shadows episode. You can never tell what happens to our co-hosts here at the Literary License Podcast.
Sounds good.
Before we're going to know you, we'll ask Dayvid a series of questions, and our first question is, who are you and what do you do for a living or on your spare time?
Okay, well, I'm a builder, but I'm also a musician, and I've been working with my friend Craig. We have he set up a site for me called Acid Monk, which has been great, and I've done some podcasting with Greek Geeks Assemble. But yeah, that's basically where I am at the moment, and just enjoying my sort of later years.
We're all in this podcast. We do have some youngins. I think Craig's one of our youngins, and Jesse's one of our youngins. But
absolutely,
yeah, we're here to sit there and disrupt them and corrupt them as much as possible.
Yes, show them the way,
Now, a lot of our co-hosts and stuff like this have social media websites. Is there anywhere that you would like our followers to be able to follow you?
Well, I've got the Acid Monk one. That's when I'm playing some my own songs. That's the only one really. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is in our newsletter, if you join up to www.llpodcast.com, we'll put those links in there, and that goes out monthly, the newsletter, and you'll be able to follow Dayvid.
Oh, and sorry, on Instagram, of course. I guess something my sister.
Instagram. I think I use my Instagram for the podcast, so it's just podcast pictures. So yeah. So, but what is your favorite genre? Now we cover a lot of genres here at the Literary License Podcast. What's your favorite genre of film?
Well, I'm a big science fiction fan. I like horror. Anything a little bit, off the wall, quite unusual, I must admit the Marvel stuff's been amazing. I started with Craig and watched some all the 4 Avengers ones, and just blew me away. I know it's a lot of CGI, but there's a real heart in them movies, and that's nice because I've always been a big Marvel fan anyway. This is reading the comics when I was a kid, But I think sci-fi is probably the tops, yeah, and horror next. Horror and sci-fi linked.
Sometimes they even cross genres as well. So
yeah, true. Look at the Alien series,
Precisely, or Predator as well.
Oh yeah, wow, magical, amazing.
What is your favorite film?
Oh, that's a horror. Funny. I was thinking about this on the way across and thinking, and everyone's got so many good ones, but 2001: A Space Odyssey. By off C. Clarke and Kubrick. Kubrick is genius, he's just one of my favorite directors all the time, next to Tarantino. But 2001, because I've probably seen it about 50 times, and every time, and if I put it on, it seems to put me in a good mood, it's like a mood enhancer, I really like that movie,
2001. I love the movie, but every time the opening track opens, dude, it always reminds me of Elvis Presley coming out on stage. Didn't you use that?
Yeah. Come on, Bob, let's get that band up. You're right.
My mom was a big Elvis.
No, I can't watch the beginning of that film without that.
Every time I hear that song, I think of Elvis for some reason. It's like Elvis is hijacked 2001. But I mean,
sorry,
you get to that 2001 when you see it today. I mean, the visuals and the everything that's done, I mean, they still stand up today. I mean, it's a marvel on its own. So
If it hadn't been 2001, there would have been Star Wars, and even in Independence Day, don't they say when they're on the roof, "Oh God, I hope they bring back Elvis." He was
captured. He knew that virus could sit there and wipe out an alien race. So that's quite good about Independence Day.
Viva Las Vegas. Is there a star called Vega? Oh yeah, Viva Las Vega. That's the one. Classic.
Now, most of us have a long history of films and stuff like that. Do you remember what your earliest film memory is?
Yeah, it's got to be Doctor Who. The first episode of Doctor Who. I think I was probably, I was still at school. It's just remember it being. You knew it was going to be in a time you're 6 years old or something, or whatever it is, but it felt pivotal. You know what I mean? Like something was happening. That opening graphics, the music, scary. The opening graphics and everything was in black and white then. But I think then was like. That's when I think I became a sci-fi fan, and I would say that's probably the moment.
Doctor Who wasn't a big thing in America. It is now.
Yeah.
But I remember it used to come on after Sesame Street, in the afternoons.
Okay.
And I remember seeing a couple episodes. So I remember quite by it.
Actually, the next the Muppet Show is brilliant. We were in our teens and it was just genius, because they had great rock stars on, that people from all film genre, really cool.
Yeah, and that was filmed here in England as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
phenomenal when you think about it, because you always think America for some reason, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's an ITV production, wasn't it? So
yes,
yeah. And now owned by Disney. What don't they? Now we cover a lot of books and stuff. Do you have a favorite book and author?
Yeah, again, it. I mean, I like Henry Miller. I like Dante, but I think Clive Barker, Weave World. That's what I must have read Weave World about 12, 15 times. Just love him. He just puts you in a good mood. But Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But I think go to something a bit more in this century. It's got to be Mr. Clive Barker with Weave World. Okay.
He really has an imaginative way of writing as well. I mean, there's such an imagination and body dysmorphia a lot of this stuff sort of thing. But yeah, I believe his new book, he's finishing up the Scarlet Testimony, the Scarlet series. I think that's coming out later on this year, apparently. That's going to end the whole Hellraiser series that he's got going. The Scarlet Bible or Testament or something like that. I was hearing about it today on a podcast, so I was like, oh, okay.
Well, Cold Canyon, I think, that was a bit like the Hollywood scene, That was a really good book, Cold Canyon.
I like that book, actually. Yeah. It was really eerie as well.
Yeah, he just seems he has the way of putting that kind of setting you in an atmosphere. It encases you. It's a world in itself, I mean, the guy's something else, man, and his art's great, An act, man, he's like...
I just remember, have you seen any of his short films that he did before Hellraiser?
No, sorry, I haven't seen any of the...
There's a lot of him and Doug Bradley, because they had their own little theater group in Liverpool. And that's just to say, there's a lot of they did a lot of it quite nude, and they're flapping their Todgers around, so they're kind of going, okay, Clive, okay. It's kind of bizarre, but it's all kind of art, art school student stuff.
Okay, right, yeah. Well, Derek Jarman, Derek Jarman, he lived in Islington, and he had great movies. He did one of Caravaggio, and that was
I've seen that one.
Yeah, I think that's probably the first art house movie I saw. Didn't he do also Orlando? I can't remember now.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He did quite a few. I mean, he went from art to getting very respected. Then he kind of went to a little bit more where actually, I think one of the main studios started throwing money at him a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
But Derek Jarman always, his early films always kind of remind me of the classy version of Kenneth Unger. Unger was really cheap and kind of where Derek made sure there was a story actually that was going on. It was, but it was a lot of imagery at the same time.
Great.
Now we're going to be covering a lot of stuff during this season of season 5, which that premieres this week. Do you have a favorite episode that you're looking forward to covering?
Um, well, anything to do with the horror genre, like, but talking about Nightbreed, I'm really looking forward to that one, like, so that's our first one, I guess, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open, like, I think it's good to sort of see new stuff and all that, and learn something, because if you just kind of go around in circles what's inside your head, you never really go any further, like, so I think that's a good thing. Yeah, sorry. It's a bit vague reply there.
No, looking forward to Cabal, actually. We got some great guest co-hosts coming on for that as well, so I think it's going to be really interesting. And then it's a short book, which is even better. I just got off a season of classic novels. We've done like Moby Dick and The Count of Monte Cristo. So I'm really looking forward to this season because it's like great reading sort of thing. Hey, stuff that I really enjoy.
Yes. I mean, it's like I remember sort of at school when I did my O levels. We did. We were so lucky. We did The Great Gatsby, which I liked anyway. And Hamlet. Genius, I mean, it was like everyone else is going, oh, Shakespeare's, but I love Shakespeare. So
I love Macbeth. Macbeth is one of my favorites.
Oh wow, isn't it something else? It's funny.
Patrick Stewart did in the West End, which is fantastic.
Oh, he's something else. I mean, probably was in the Star Trek stuff, but Patrick Stewart was in the original Dune. You only had a small part, like but he's I'm trying to think. I might have seen him years ago, because he only really came to prominence in the 80s, and when we first came to London, we would go and see a lot of fringe theatre, and I'm sure
an audience. That's what I mean, the thing is, there are TV actors, and it's like, you'll see them like perform on stage, and they don't. Where Patrick Stewart, you can tell that he's an actor's actor. He just, I was mesmerized, and I have to sit there and say it was raining when we went. So you got into this theater, we're all wet and everyone's really damp. And, where basically you can see the steam rising off everyone sort of thing. And everyone just, I didn't move for like, what was it, 3.5 hours, 4 hours? We're just like, sort of thing. It was.
Yeah. I still want to go see The Mousetrap. I'm going to drag Craig down, I'm not
to see Mousetrap. And he said that, he says that he knew from the very first scene, he knew who did it, sort of thing. So
no. Is it okay?
It's quite interesting. Look, I think we're more advanced now, aren't we? Because we see so many thrillers. I think the older you get as well, that we
do. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's quite. That's great.
Movies place out the whole plot, can't you? Half the time, it's like.
Yeah. I mean,
interesting to see how you guys do on that. So
we'll give you a report back on that one. That should be good fun, dude.
If you guessed it.
We'll be called sleuths. The old-fashioned expression.
Yes, he's the sleuth.
I'm a sleuth. Like it.
Now, you've been doing podcasting for a while now. What do you enjoy about podcasting?
I think it's just like this is banter, and just meeting different people and having a yak, and finding out about the world, their world that they're in, and it's like it's a doorway into all these other experiences, But mainly it's like, I think with all the COVID stuff, and the lockdown, this has probably been a godsend for people, especially people like bloody extroverts like me. Being a musician, like, we like to perform, like, But just meeting people, great, it's fab,
Now, do you have a favorite quote or saying?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Yes, hold on, let me think. There is no such thing as perfection, only perfect intention.
Oh, very good. Excellent.
It's Buddhist. There's one my little nephew said to me the other day. He says, you can get in touch with me on the Wi-Fi, Uncle Dayvid. That could become a classic. I like that one. Yeah.
Now, do you have a special message to our fans that might have something that changed your life or anything?
Sorry, one more time, you.
You have a special message to our fans that may have changed your life?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that would be it.
Now, when your time has passed and this great big blue marble that we're all spinning around at, and one day, as my grandmother says, we have two things in common. We're all born and we're all going to die. So when you pass from this mortal coil, what is the one thing you best want to be remembered for?
laughter, because it encompasses the arts and the music and it's everything, and I think it's nice. I like to laugh, and I don't mind people laughing at me. That's great, but just seeing people laugh, I love it, and it just makes you feel good, and it raises the mood, and
Very, very true. We could always use
as the great Bill Hicks said. He says, wherever you see laughter and love and music, I'll be there.
So, well, I want to thank you, Dayvid, for joining the Literary License Podcast and our Getting to Know You. And we will be seeing Dayvid during our Kings of Horror episodes, which will be the first week of this month. So thanks again, Dayvid, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Thank you, Keith. Have a great evening.
You too.
Let your mind be free. Stop holding